Hello, friends. On today's Cabinet Curiosities, the first one since my little break from doing all the Spooktober videos and whatnot, we're diving back into what's in the box, and it's going to be a big one. Again, it's been a while since I've done what's in the box. So yeah, this is going to be like primarily a mega movie extravaganza, if you will. Or like in Hot Fuzz when Simon Pegg goes back to Nick Castle's his apartment and he opens up the his DVD case and it's by the power of Grayskull. That's what I'm claiming it to be anyway. But yeah, as always, I'm your host Jason, and again, thanks for joining me in all this. Again, going back to Spooktober, that was really fun to do. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. Sans Ghosts and Goblins, because yeah, again, fuck that game. We'll never play it again. And also kind of Bullet Witch now. It's been so long, I forgot how much of a slog that game is. But anywho, still had a blast playing it. And again, hopefully that translated through the videos, especially Resident Evil 3. And I'm going to get back into playing through that after this and another video or two. Yeah, I took the break again, just to not necessarily recharge the batteries, but need to do just something for me, so to speak. And at the time, Persona 5 Royal came out on Switch and Xbox and PC, so I was taking some time doing that. I finished Makoto's dungeon, just waiting for the change of heart. That's currently where I am. But yeah, anyway, enough rambling on about that. Let's go ahead and get to the good shit. Like I said, it's going to be a lot of movies on this one, but first I want to start off with a few gifts that my lovely wife gave me. First off being a nice new Buffy t-shirt. Yeah, as most of you should know, definitely my friends, I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That's my favorite TV show of all time. Sarah Michelle Gellar, definitely was a huge crush, and again, a lovely woman. Has gone on to do multiple stuff. Anyway, that was a big part of my high school years, watching that because again, Warner Brothers, was it CW, whatever stuff that started when I just started high school. Big part, love it. So yeah, she got me this shirt, and then also got me this patch to go on my jacket that she made for me last year for Christmas. It has a bunch of it's Levi's denim jacket, has a bunch of patches, some horror patches, all kinds of movies that I like. And yeah, so now this one's going on there as well. Just gotta find a cool spot for it, but again, love it. And again, she indulges my Buffy fanaticism, if you will. And she also got me Creepshow on Blu-ray to go along with my Creepshow 2. Again, this is funny. So I got Scream Factory release, and then this one's Arrow. Again, two of my favorite horror distributors. And then also up there is Vestron, and was it Synapse does some good stuff. Full Moon, bunch of cult movies. They bring it out, whatever. But I haven't had this one, and it got kind of hard to find. But yeah, Julia snagged it, and again, this nice, beautiful packaging, and again, this is why I love Scream Factory and Arrow so much, because they do really good jobs on their releases, and then also have little goodies like this. This is talking about making the movie and the stories in it and all that good stuff. So I love stuff like this. But yeah, again, growing up, as I've mentioned before, Creepshow 2 is still my favorite. I know that's kind of blasphemous to some people or whatever, but again, I would catch this one on TV more so than the first one. And so, this one would always, I mean, again, the raft still fucking scares me, even though I know everything that's coming or whatever. It's just so damn creepy. But again, I'm glad I finally got, the collection. I know there's a Creepshow 3, but I've never watched it. And I'm not sure how good it actually is. But again, gifts from my wife. And now let's get into the rest. We're going to start off with get all the movies knocked out. I do, talk a little bit about them, and then I got a few other things. No, actually, do one more thing before the videos. So if you remember my community post, I had a mysterious parcel come in from Fearless Records, and that was my first Ice Nine Kills vinyl, Welcome to Horrorwood. This is the sequel to The Silver Scream. Awesome album. Finally got to, track it down. Because again, it's another one of those, I want to say I've seen this at the stores, but as soon as I, see them in concert, I'm like, oh, they're awesome. Let me go buy some of their stuff. They all disappear. It is what it is. But I'm glad I finally got this. Heard Spencer Gang play several songs off this album when I saw him with Knotfest. And again, the cool thing is all their songs are based off of horror movies, TV, books, all that kind of stuff. So again, it's speaking my language. This one, like Assault and Batteries, that's Child's Play, Shower Scene, Psycho. Funeral Derangements, that's Pet Cemetery, Rainy Days, It. Hip to Be Scared, that's another fun one. That's American Psycho. And again, we got to check out the box. That's Hellraiser, Farewell to the Flesh, Candyman, Ex Mortis, Evil Dead, yada yada yada. Silver Scream 1 has like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th on it, just to name a few. But again, like their music videos also are awesome because they go through the full thing, like especially Hit to Be Scared. They're replaying scenes from the movie, and I mean it's great. Just check them out on YouTube if nothing else, because again it's cool. And then let's see the gatefold. It has this whole like evidence thing, like they're using the songs and whatnot to piece together an investigation for all these murders that happen. It's kind of coinciding, yada yada. But Bill Moseley, that as from House of a Thousand Corpses, all that is Otis Firefly. He was Chop Top and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Again, legendary career. But he plays the detective, the head detective in there, trying to solve the mystery, whatnot. Like Joe Bob Briggs in one of the music videos, he's a judge. Little things like that. So yeah, definitely check out the music videos. And again, we have the Blu-ray, or not the Blu-ray. Got that on the brain. The vinyl that I picked up is this nice splatter, special edition splatter, and I mean it's beautiful. So good. And also the guys in the band, this year they actually made their first ever horror convention. And again, like Bill Moseley, he was there. Doug Bradley was a guest. Danielle Harris, Kane Hodder, Nick Castle, just to name a few. Again, this is their first year doing their own con. And Ice Nine Kills, they played a concert. I think Twisted also played that same night. But next year, wifey and I, we're going to the second year of it, so that's going to be really cool. Never been to the Massachusetts area. It's the con's at Danvers, and that's like 20 minutes away from Salem, and about an hour away from Boston. So, we've got some cool shit that we can do, in between time also. And like the tickets that we bought, one night we get to go to an exclusive party. Another night is exclusive concert. Again, the guys will play and whatnot. So yeah, so stoked for that. Definitely looking forward to it. It's gonna be awesome. And again, never been to that area of the country too, so that'd be cool. All right, now we're gonna knock out all these movie picks and stuff. First, one of my friends at work, one of my vendors, we talk about movies and all kinds of stuff all the time, games, yada yada. I got him a present shortly after he got married. Again, just something I tried to share the word about this movie. I got him a copy of Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Phenomenal horror comedy, is awesome. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's great. But he found out that I haven't seen this movie, John Cusack's Better Off Dead. Try to get the glare off, man. This is like, I want to say this is his first movie. So I mean, he did this before, Say Anything and all that. So very young John Cusack. Haven't seen it. I'm working on it, John. I really am. I will watch it here soon. But again, thank you so much for this, John. Appreciate it. Let's see, and some of these are ones I've had. Not only I got some that I recently purchased, and other one that kind of slipped through the cracks or whatever, because something was going on, whether it was getting married and going on the honeymoon, or other life things happening. So I don't think I've showed all of them, and if I have shown a few, tough shit. You get to see it again, I get to brag again. But one of them is David Cronenberg's first movie, Shivers. And it's, if you ever seen Slither from James Gunn, takes heavy inspiration from this. And David Cronenberg, so it's, nice, gross body horror in parts of it. With this, it's set in a Montreal, luxury apartment complex, and a parasitic virus is going through the complex, and it's these little slugs that are turning all the occupants into violent, sex crazed maniacs. And it's up to this one doctor to find out what's going on and then try to contain it before it gets out. Not bad, definitely really nice freshman effort from David Cronenberg. I mean, even Roger Ebert gives his props, which is weird because he's always so against most horror films. But I mean, not bad. Definitely not my favorite. I prefer his second movie, Rabid, a lot better. Shiver, a lot of stuff that goes on in Shivers pays away for Rabid. I think Rabid is the better film overall. But it's both kind of still what we're going through today with COVID, still there, definitely not as rampant and as extreme as it, was when it first came out. But, that whole infection horror plus, crazy parasitic craziness, again, it's David Cronenberg, so you're going to get some kind of that shit in every one of his movies. Again, check him out. Again, I recommend Rabid, but definitely watch Shivers also. Again, it's a slow burn, but it, once it gets there, it really gets going. And again, it's in that, basically there's only two little set pieces. It's the majority of it's in the little high rise apartment complex, and then some of it's in the doctor's office where he's trying to figure stuff out. So again, you get that kind of claustrophobic feeling with it as well. So yeah, definitely check it out. Next up, this is one I can't remember, or these two are some that I can't remember if I've actually talked about them or showed them off or not. I've definitely talked about it. Might have been on Cinephiles when we were talking about horror films. But it's Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre Next Generation. Um, this one I've seen bits and pieces. I haven't watched it all the way through, and I need to. I just haven't yet because again, we get to what are we in the mood to watch, yada yada, and then we put on kind of same shit. Everybody goes through that, but Leatherface is all right. It has Viggo Mortensen in it, also Ken Foray. Ken Foray is great, awesome actor. The weird thing about this is that weird time during the 90s, which, let's see if I can find the date. 1990. So yeah, early 90s, coming out of the 80s kind of gross out horror stuff, and like early 90s they really like took steps back from the gore. So a lot of the kill, you don't even really see the kills in this one. It's all implied, whether it's from the sound or it pans to the victim's face or whatever, instead of seeing limbs flying everywhere or whatever. So yeah, it's really odd, but I mean, it's decent. Give it a watch just to go through the line or whatever. Next Generation, this has Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger in it. That might have been her. This might have been her first movie. I'm not 100% on that, but again, in this one, McConaughey is he's part of the family, so he's doing his crazy McConaughey shit. So, but yeah, got these into my collection to go along with the classic one and part 2. All right, another one that I got around the same time as some of those is a Linda Blair, Linnea Quigley film called Savage Streets. So this is, again, this kind of stereotypical 80s, early 90s trope with it's, some like mega school, and it's, you got the good kids mixed in with, all the bad ones, and, there's gangs and whatnot, kind of like that dirty Detroit city looking background that you see in RoboCop and things like that. But stars Linda Blair and Linnea Quigley. They're sisters. Linda, she has a gang of female gang called the Satins, and they kind of sort of rule the school, so to speak. Linda's actually a very bright student, that kind of thing, and just hey, I'm bored, so let's just start some shit kind of thing. But one night they kind of cross paths with the main punk male gang called the on the Scars, and to get payback, they target Linnea Quigley, who is both deaf and mute, and basically they rape her and just leave her in the girls' bathroom or the gym bathroom or whatever. And then I mean, that's bad enough, but then they also start killing other members in the Satins. So Linda decides that she wants revenge, and has had enough of all this, and takes a fight to them. Starts knocking them off one at a time, yada yada. Which you should, because in movies, books, whatever, in real life, rapists need to get the fucking crap beat out of them, and whatever, castration. So yeah, luckily, like in this and some of the other ones, they get their comeuppance. Could have been a little bit more extreme if you want to go that argument or whatever, but again, the rapists get theirs and that kind of thing. But a lot of 80s tropes in it, whatever. Kind of, I don't want to say generic, but there's a lot of these kinds of movies in the 80s. So kind of sort of dime a dozen, but worth a check out if you're bored one day. And again, how I like a bunch of crazy, well, not necessarily crazy, but just 80s movies or cult classics and stuff. So again, that's right up my alley, and I like it in the collection. So now we got another I got my last Scream Factory movie, and then we're going to go into a bunch of Arrow videos that I picked up, or Arrow releases. This one is Robert Englund in The Phantom of the Opera. You know, nice, a different take on the whole story. It also has, I can't always mess up her name, Jill Sholin, who is in The Stepfather, also as and other films too. But she of course plays Christine, and you know, Robert's take on the Phantom is, you know, very interesting. Like, I don't want to say too much, but kind of he was cursed, so to speak, and part of the thing to stay alive, you know, he kills, and you know, because he's being alive all these years trying to finish his work, whatever's left him, you know, insane, and he's like having to stitch on skin and stuff onto his face to try to keep somewhat human face on and stuff. I liked it. The only nitpicky problem or whatever I have about it is, again, this was, I think, 89. Yeah, 1989. So into the 80s, going into the early 90s, when, you know, the technology is starting to shift some. So, you know, we're seeing new things with, you know, computer graphics and all that stuff, the special effects. So at the beginning, when Christine, like, she has a whatchamacallit, past life experience kind of thing, like the transition from the current. Oh yeah, Molly Shannon's also has a brief little part in this as, you know, Jill's friend or Christine's friend, yada yada. But that transition going from, you know, now to back then is the CGI or whatever, the computer special effects look like shit. But other than that, you know, decent flick. I enjoyed it. Julia liked it as well. Again, and it's just nice seeing, you know, Robert in a non-Freddy role, because, you know, again, that's his bread and butter, his big thing, along with, you know, V. But again, anything seeing him do something different is nice. So yeah, check this out too. You know, that's worth a watch. All right, so I got several Arrow video releases. Again, that's Arrow and Scream Factory are my favorites. Now, this one isn't an Arrow release per se, but it's on their site. It's a film by, let me see if I can find his name. It was the same director that did Suicide Club, Norco's Dinner Table, Cold Fish, and Himizu. Let me see, what's his name? Sono-Sion? Yeah, Sono-Sion. I know, it's Love Exposure. Again, this is an import. Several of these are imports. Again, I found that a lot of the movies and stuff that I'm trying to find, it's cheaper to get them imported than it is to try and find, you know, the U.S. region. And yeah, I spent money, not a whole lot, but, you know, I went out and bought a region-free player so I can, you know, take advantage of all this stuff. Yeah, Love Exposure. I was my friend Steven, which, again, you know, Steve Berto, as I've mentioned many times. We have this thing to where, you know, we'll show each other goofy, messed up, whatever, foreign flicks, or just, you know, random shit that we find. This was one of them, and this is definitely one of the better ones that we've watched. Again, take it for what it is. It's kind of a drama, comedy drama, whatever. Lots of, you know, Japanese societal things, and I'll read the synopsis for you just so, you know, you can see. So in this, having grown up in a devout Christian family, Yu, played by Takehiro Kishijima, has always been a well-behaved kid. After his mother dies, his priest father is seduced by a woman who breaks his heart, causing him to torment Yu by forcing him to confess his sins on a daily basis. Of course, being a fairly normal kid, Yu has no legitimate sins to confess. However, to appease his increasingly demanding father, Yu is determined to become a true sinner, eventually training to become an expert at sneak upskirt photography. Again, crazy Japanese shit. Pornography being the one sin no priest can overlook. Yu gets the attention he's been so desperately seeking from his dad. One day, while hanging out with his fellow sinner pals, but dressed like say sorry as punishment for being on the losing end of a bet, Yu meets a beautiful girl named Yoko, played by Hikari Mitsushima. Their first meeting is a glorious one, beginning with an all-out street brawl and ending with a kiss. There are only two problems. She thinks he's a woman, and a devious cult leader named Aya, played by Sakura Ando, is carefully manipulating both of their lives. So again, it's a long film. Shoot, I can't see how much on there, but again, it's I mean, despite all the the crazy Japanese shit in there, again, they're societal things. It's a good movie. I enjoyed this one, and again, you take it for what it is. Laugh when you're supposed to at the absurdity of some of the shit, and yeah, it's a good watch in my opinion. So now, yeah, these are straight Arrow releases, and first up, got Wild Things 4K. And Wild Things, Wild Things is a good movie. Has a great cast in it because besides the four that we see on the cover, the main characters, Bill Murray's in there, doing Bill Murray shit. But this was kind of sort of getting back into that erotic drama, erotic thriller phase. It had it kind of at the beginning of the 90s with like Basic Instinct and things like that. Kind of died off, and then this one kind of brought it back up again. This was with let's see, Neve Campbell. She's already done at this point. This was, I think, 98. She was already on Party of Five. She's already done Scream 1 and 2. So again, this is, I guess, kind of her bad girl, rebellious kind of thing. Not being so wholesome, so to speak. Because again, everybody goes on about the lesbian kiss and the threesome, yada yada. That aside, it's a good flick. If that's your main hang up on her or whatnot. So yeah, she was more well known than Denise Richards at this point, because Denise, up until then, I mean, she did like bit parts in all kinds of most of the main sitcoms and other shows throughout the 90s, like Saved by the Bell. She was in a few episodes of that, Married with Children, yada yada. She did Starship Troopers right before this one, so this Starship Troopers and this kind of propelled her up, and then after this she did Drop Dead Gorgeous, and so on and so forth. Again, good flick. Definitely watch it. And again, with 4K is region free. So yeah, you don't need a special player to watch it. But again, with most of these special Arrow releases, again, comes with a poster, a double-sided poster, which I'm not gonna open up. It has little like movie cards in there from some main characters, a few of the scenes in there. Also has again, a book talking about not only about the movie, but also part of the restoration, not restoration, but the transfers and all that stuff. So again, Arrow does great with their releases. I mean, here lately they've kind of had a few issues. This one company, I think it's called Zabi. I don't think they bought them, but they kind of merged with them or whatever, and kind of taken over a lot of the things. And it seems like they're kind of pushing them to get some of these releases out. So there's been a few quality issues, quality control issues with some of the releases. Like I experienced one with my Demons 1 and 2 set. There was like some audio issues that weren't matching up with what the specific said or the specifications on it. So it sucks that all this crap's going on, but again, Arrow's quick to not only be upfront with the consumer about it, but also getting on top, sending replacement disc out to everybody that bought it, so you can get that fixed and taken care of. However, again, why would you not just hire a little quality control group that would fix all this? You have them. Here's the latest release. Pop it in, watch it, make sure all this is going on, all the scenes really need to be, so on and so forth. Boom. Seems like that would be cheaper in the long run to again get this small little group to check this out than it is to put all these releases out and then have to turn around and then add new disc and send them out. So again, I think that's the lesser two evils or whatever, but I don't know. Again, they still do quality work. All that aside, they do take care in the process of doing the 4K resolutions and all that stuff. So again, I will still continue to buy their products, being the the movie nerd that I am. Next up, we got a Brian De Palma film, Dressed to Kill. This is a nice, again, little kind of erotic thriller. So it's definitely a thriller. There's some sexualization in there. But again, it's a great flick. It has Angie Dickinson in it. Michael Caine's great in it. Nancy Allen, who we know from Carrie and RoboCop, Poltergeist 3, whatever. She's in there also. She's great. She's a prostitute that witnesses a murder. Which actually, let me go ahead and I'll read the synopsis on this. And actually, this is the second movie that Nancy worked with Brian De Palma. The first being Carrie in, was it 1976, 78? I think it's 76. But this is, the latest fashion in murder. After sexually frustrated housewife Kate Miller, played by Angie Dickinson, has a session with her psychiatrist, Dr. Elliot, played by Michael Caine, she silently seduces a man in an art gallery, an assignation that ends in murder, and the only witness, high-class prostitute Liz Blake, played by Nancy Allen, being stalked by the killer in turn. So again, I like how Brian lets Nancy, she's not like a little ditzy prostitute, whatever. She has street smart. She's very intelligent. She does doing this to make ends meet kind of thing. So again, that's kind of refreshing. I don't want to talk about a whole lot of this because again, there's a few big twists in it that I don't want to ruin the movie if you haven't seen it, but definitely check it out. It is definitely worth the watch. Again, Michael Caine's performance is great, as in most things that he does, and same with Nancy Allen. So yeah, definitely check this out. And now, these last few movies, we're getting to my trend of getting giallo flicks here lately. Again, that's a lot to do with Shudder and The Last Drive-In, and also that documentary series that I showed off, In Search of Darkness. So added several more giallo flicks to the collection. First up is two from Lucio Fulci. Before, the only other movie of his I have is Zombie on DVD, which I'd love a nice Blu-ray edition of that. But first up is City of the Living Dead and Demonia. Again, the Italians, but specifically Lucio, whatever his little fetish is with doing shit with eyes is definitely prevalent in this one, because I think it's Demonia. One chick, dude gets both his eyes just, and it's just like, really, really, dude. And of course, in Zombie, there's the infamous scene with kind of towards the beginning of the movie. I think it's been a while since I watched it, but you have the cadaver eye that gets the zombie hand breaks through, grabs the girl's head, and is like pushing her through this, huge kind of splinter, and the eye goes right through it and everything. Nice gross close up because again, they got a cadaver to do that, but kind of similar shit in this. Out of the two, I like City of Living Dead better. It's kind of disappointing in this one. I thought it was going to be more than what it was. And then of course, being rotting corpses and things from hell. You got, the worms and maggots and all that kind of gross shit in it too. Again, being being Lucio. But this one, a medium has a mysterious vision of a priest hanging himself. A seemingly dead woman awakes screaming in her coffin, and in sleepy New England town of Dunwich, a girl vomits up her intestines, and a local misfit has a drill bit plowed into his cranium. These hallucinogenic, often grotesque visions punctuate a skeletal story telling of a reporter and a psychic who must race against time to prevent hordes of rotting corpses spewing forth from the gates of hell. So again, got all the gross out stuff. It's kind of sort of, I think they kind of bill it as a sequel to Zombie, but kind of separate stories. And in Demonia, this one, it's a Canadian archaeological team led by Professor Evans descends on the ruins of a medieval Sicilian monastery to undertake an excavation. But when Evans' protege, Liza, goes searching for an explanation to the disturbing visions she's been experiencing, she awakens the spirit of 3 Satan-worshipping nuns put to death centuries earlier by a violent mob, unleashing an orgy of vengeful violence on the unsuspecting explorers. So again, I thought there was going to be more to this than there was, but still, I mean, it's worth a watch. And right now, it's streaming on Shudder. If you have that, if not, they always give free trials, 7-day trials, so you can sign up for it, check this movie out, check out all the Last Drive-In stuff. If nothing else, it's worth it to me. But you can get a watch out of it for that. But I mean, I love the cover of it. And this one also, it's cool because it, folds out to across. And of course, the book, little book talking about the movie and all that good stuff. And then, as always, in lots of these special Arrow releases, they have the little kind of lobby cards, whatever, showing different things from the movies. And this one also has, so again, like I said, it's 4K, and it also has a disc where it's a documentary on Lucio himself. So that's pretty cool. Oop. My only real complaint about this is I hate the packaging. I'll show you why. Because this one goes through the bottom, so it's loosey goosey. My Mummy collection with the Brendan Fraser is the same way. It comes out the bottom. That I don't like that because boom, there goes, and it's all over the floor, and oh my gosh, I just broke a disc, whatever. So that's my only real complaint about this. Again, I kind of thought it was going to be more than what it was, but again, it was a good watch. And definitely, if you haven't watched Zombie, check that out because it's definitely one of Lucio's best, in my opinion. Again, very beginning, you have a zombie taking a bite out of a shark. When have you ever heard that in a sentence before? So last on this movie extravaganza are 3 films from my favorite Italian director, as you know, or you should know by now, I've said it enough, Dario Argento. Oh. We got Phenomena, Deep Red, and Tenebrae. Tenebrae is actually my second favorite Argento film, which, to be fair, I haven't seen all of his stuff, but from what I've seen, this is my second. Suspiria is, of course, my very favorite. Phenomena stars, a young Jennifer Connelly. Donald Pleasance is also in this. Kind of helps her throughout this movie. I've seen bits and pieces. When I watch it, it's always like late and between like the colors and stuff and everything else going on, I fall asleep. Not to say that's a boring movie, it's just the times of day or whatever that I go to watch it. And again, Dario, he's so great with the color contrast and stuff, and I'll talk about that more over here. But here, Jennifer Corvino, played by Jennifer Connelly, is the daughter of a world-renowned movie star, arrives in the so-called Swiss Transylvania to attend an exclusive girls' school. However, a vicious killer is targeting the pupils, and sleepwalker Jennifer finds herself in the assassin's headlights when her nocturnal wanderings cause her to witness the death of a fellow pupil. Aided by paraplegic entomologist John McGregor, Donald Pleasance, and her own uncanny ability to communicate telepathically with insects, Jennifer sets out to track down the killer before she herself becomes the latest victim. So again, nice visuals or whatever. Donald Pleasance is, he was a treasure. He went in full force to whatever he worked with, enjoyed being an actor and all that stuff. So, again, his performances always speak for themselves. But yeah, that's the first one in here, which this is also on Shudder. I think all 3 of these are still on Shudder as well. So, again, hit that free trial, check these movies out. You won't regret it. If you do, well, something's wrong with you. But yeah, we have Deep Red and Tenebrae. Again, both of these were on the last drive-in as well. And yeah, Tenebrae especially, I love this film. And like I said, both of these are 4K, so they're region free. They come out. They come with fold out poster, and of course this is Fondo Rosso, that's the Italian name, and of course the book talking about the movie and pictures and all that good stuff. And then let's see, so yeah, in Deep Red, one night, musician Marcus Daly, looking up from the street below, witnesses the brutal axe murder of a woman in her apartment. Racing to the scene, Marcus just manages to miss the perpetrator, or does he? As he takes on the role of amateur sleuth, Marcus finds himself ensnared in a bizarre web of murder and mystery where nothing is what it seems. Again, Dario works with Goblin for the score again. Goblin was pretty much his go-to group to do the music for all his movies. So, familiar sounds and whatnot in the movies. Again, very, very good. And Tenebrae especially, again, just his color contrast. Because there's one... which I guess it might be kind of iconic at this point, but you have this one woman, getting slashed, and behind her, she's wearing a white shirt, and there's this white wall behind her. So, as soon as she gets slashed or whatever, just the spray of blood that just goes out and hits the wall and everything, and just, it pops even more because it's up against that white and stuff. Dario is so great with those kind of shots and stuff. But yeah, like I said, again, we got the little cards in all these. And the fold out posters. Like that. And, you know, the book. Actually, John Saxon also is in this movie. Again, saw both of those on the last drive-in. And in Tenebrae, a razor-wielding psychopath is stalking the thriller writer Peter Neal in Rome to promote his latest work, Tenebrae. But the author isn't the obsessive killer's only target. The beautiful women who surround him are doomed as, one by one, they fall victim to the murder's slashing blade. So yeah, again, this is my second favorite Argento flick. Definitely watch it. You, again, highly recommend it. All right. So now we're going to get into going towards the end of this video. So a few other things that I picked up and I'm reading. First up, you know, one of my favorite horror magazines, Horror Hound. This is still the summer issue. Horror Hound's bi-monthly. I haven't, at the time of this, they either haven't released the next edition yet, or the stores just haven't got it yet, whatever. But yeah, bi-monthly, and this covers like everything from movies, TV, books, music, comics, toys, memorabilia, all that stuff. They have this little special where they tour, you know, infamous sites. So they'll go to, you know, Michael Myers' house. They'll go to all these different settings and, you know, talk about different things that were on location in the movies and stuff. They show off, you know, you can put your fans' collection stuff in here. You know, again, it says right there, the Horror Fans Magazine. You know, I like this better than Fangoria, and especially since Fangoria, or at least the last issue that I looked at to potentially buy, it was like $15. Yeah. No, sir. No, ma'am. But one thing I like about this, like at the bottom here, it has these little fun facts. So, you know, whether it's talking about whatever's actually in the article. So like this one is Black Phone, which that's a good movie too. Watch it. Whether it's Black Phone or just, you know, random other little things, you know, upcoming things being filmed or whatever, you know, I like those little fun facts. But yeah, they also have, you know, they'll go to other like horror directors and stuff and do like a little 10-question little mini interview with them and stuff. You know, it can be off the wall things. Yeah, like there it is right there. And then I also like on this next page, they do like the latest releases coming out on the months that this issue covers. So that's always good too. And then of course, got your toy and collectible news. So yeah, really awesome. You know, bunch of pretty shit that most of the time I can't afford, or, you know, if I did, Julia would divorce me. Or at least beat me down, because, you know, what the fuck did you just do? But yeah, you know, there we go, talking about comics. And then in this issue also, and this is actually how I found out about Count Crawley, which I mentioned in one of the Spooktober videos. You know, big article about it. So yeah, definitely I highly recommend this magazine. Again, it's bi-monthly. So, you know, every couple months, you know, look for it at your Barnes & Noble or whatever, or, you know, get a subscription. Last year, Julia got me a subscription for my birthday, and that was great. And also, I'll show off a few of the comics that I've gotten here recently. Some things that are on my general pull list. First off, should be nobody's surprise, is Marauders. this basically Kitty Pryde, or she's going by Kate Pryde now. She's basically a mutant pirate leader, and they go around, saving mutant refugees and stuff, and bringing them back to Krakoa, the mutant strongholds or whatever, to live a better life, yada yada. And this arc that they're doing now, they're going back and looking into the very first mutants, and they're kind of feuding with the Shi'ar Empire, yada yada. But again, I love Kate Pryde. She's tattooed on my body, and that's actually Kitty is who Joss Whedon based Buffy off of. So again, goes hand in hand. Right now, I'm not too crazy about the art on these last few issues, but I think it's just transitioning into the next big thing. So all the comic companies do that shit. It irks me, but it's part of it. Next up, we have Predator. So along the line, same lines as the Alien series that they're doing. It's a mature title, so it's not shying away from the blood and gore. There is some cursing. It's not full-blown movie stuff, but still you get your shits and dams and all that stuff. No F-bombs, but again, still, even though it's a mature title, still Marvel or whatever. But in this series, the main character right here, her family was killed by Predator, and she's on a mission to not only find the Predator that did murder her family, but anyone that she comes across, she tries to kill also. So she has all kinds of gear that she's taken from not only Predators that she's killed, but from her ships and all that. But at the same time, the Predators know that she's doing this, and they're actually hunting her as well. So cool things there. And then on the DC side, we have their big mega event that's going on, Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. Sounded like Fred Gwynn and my cousin Vinny. Utes. Did you say Utes? This is a good mini, or a good event in my opinion. As per usual, and I'll bitch about that later. The Justice League is dead. Black Adam, they're fighting Pariah here and his Dark Army, which basically consists of all the big, or the majority of the big DC baddies, and basically he kind of enslaved them with this dark energy from another entity that hasn't fully revealed himself, yada yada. But the Justice League is wiped out right in front of Black Adam's eyes. He's the only one that survived, and he's trying to recruit a new Justice League to go up against them at the same time that Superman's son John is also trying to come up with the Justice League and do it the right way, because Black Adam is a douchebag, and it's my way the highway, and you have to kill, blah 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 blah. The only reason they threw him in the forefront is because the movie was coming out at the same time. I don't like Black Adam. I also don't like Namor. So Wakanda Forever or whatever. I'll wait for that to come out. But I feel they're two sides of the same coin. Both just douchebags, which again, that's how they're supposed to be. But I just don't like them. I don't like them as characters. Anywho, that aside. So yeah, John's trying to all the heroes that are left. So mostly it's like the sidekicks and the Titans. The Titans have a big part in this. So Nightwing's kind of leading the charge and all that stuff too. They're trying to to show the world that there's still hope, and still fight or whatever. Because another big key piece to this is Deathstroke. Deathstroke his main is Pariah's main general on Earth. To basically he gets on national TV, and they go right to Titan Academy, and Slade, sorry, slight spoiler alert, but pops a cap in Beast Boy's head again, and they beat the shit out of everybody at the Titan Academy, and is like, yeah, any of you would-be heroes that are still out there, don't even bother. If you do, we'll find you, we'll kill you, make an example out of you. So, you know, that's pretty badass right there. But again, overall, a really good crossover or whatever mega event. Again, DC, with all these events, stop fucking killing the Justice League every goddamn time. It's you know, so tiresome. You know, that you keep doing that. You got all these talented people. Throw some more ideas on the wall. You know, stop doing that every year, every 2 years or whatever. Something different. That's you know, that and Black Adam. That's that's my 2 gripes. But you know, it's whatever. And keeping up with reading materials, I also bought a couple new manga, however you prefer to say it, volumes. So again, since I'm a huge fan and then have been playing Persona 5 Royal, picked up volume 1 of Udon's Persona 4, and then also Vanilla Persona 5. You know, this one's by Udon, this one's by Viz, of course. Something I didn't realize in the manga, they changed the names of the protagonist, because like in Persona 4, oh shoot, what's his name? It's Yu, you know, Yu Nakajima, I think it is. And I don't think they ever said in Persona 5, but you know, they changed their names in here, so you know, that's something I never knew about. But again, Udon, you know, great art in this. You know, again, I would prefer it to be in color, but that's just, you know, my preference. But still really good, follows the story, of course. And you know, again, there's Viz. Then also got volume 1, which I've been looking to get this for a while, and finally did. But volume 1 of Fist of the North Star, and this is also by Viz, and nice pretty hardcover. Again, great art, that nice 80s style. Which, yeah, there's some color in there, but mostly black and white. But in Fist of the North Star, for those of you who don't know, in a post-apocalyptic world, humanity has risen from the ashes out of all-out nuclear war to a nightmare of endless suffering. It is a time of chaos. Warlords and gangs of savage marauders rule the broken ruins of civilization, terrorizing and enslaving the survivors. Life has become a brutal struggle for existence, and death the only release. One day, a wanderer appears out of the wasteland to bring justice to the guilty and hope to the people. A warrior named Ken, or Kenshiro, a man who bears 7 scars upon his chest and holds a secret of a mysterious martial art known as Hakuto Shinken, the Divine Fist of the North Star. So basically, yeah, you know, it's Mad Max in Japan. And like I never knew about Fist of the North Star. Again, you know, being an 80s baby and stuff, this wasn't, I think, as prevalent over here in the US at the time, or definitely in Arkansas, where I was at the time. I found out about Fist of the North Star for the first time when my mom got me the Game Boy game. And in it, you know, it's your basic, you know, action beat 'em up with, you know, some of the main characters from the series, and you know, you just, you know, Kenshiro versus whoever, and you know, fight, and then you move on to the next one. You get a little bullshit ending, and then you know, you try it out with other characters, whatever. Yeah, that's how I first found out about that, and then later on, several years later, I watched the movie, which I can't remember if there's only the one movie or if they did a few movies and like a series like they did with Berserk. I'm not sure. I have to do some research on that. But again, really good story. And of course, there's other video games and stuff now too. I have the PS4 game. That's, you know, kind of a Dynasty Warriors Mushu, kill a bunch of, you know, thousands of guys in one hit kind of thing. Plus, you know, have some other little quirky RPG things in it. But again, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to, you know, reading this for the first time, as well as, you know, the these two right here. And last on the list for this video, as I'm going way long, like I said, first video back, first what's in the box in a while, so yeah, we gotta go big with a lot of shit. I have the Pathfinder 2nd Edition beginner box that I got from doing the current, which actually it might be closing in now or just ended, Humble Bundle. So they did another Pathfinder Starfinder bundle, and with the tier that I did, I got, you know, the physical beginner box as well as the digital stuff. But, you know, this has everything that you need to do. You can do a little mini adventure that they have in here, or you can go ahead and just use a piece of this to, you know, just go ahead and start your own world if you don't want to, you know, get the core rule book and stuff, which, I mean, you should anyway. But, you know, this box has everything you need just to go ahead and play right out the gate. You know, it has, you know, some generic polyhedral dice, which, you know, again, I don't like. I mean, I appreciate that they do this, but, you know, I don't like these dice. You got little stands for the tokens. You have little condition cards to kind of help you go through the steps of the game. You know, here's what you do on this turn, that kind of thing. You have some pre-made heroes, and you also have you know, the groundwork to make your own if you want. There's also the Game Master's Guide. It has the little mini adventure on here, and then, like I said, it has the bones or whatever that you can use to make your own world, and go from there. In the Hero's Handbook, it tells you what you need to do to make your own characters, get your starting well that has some magical items and stuff in here. You know, quick rules, references, all that good stuff. He also has some blank character sheets, so yeah, you can make your own, which I do like that these are all in color, or, you know, has little color parts to it. That's nice. I like that. Also comes with a double-sided flip map that you can turn over. Has like the dry erase material on it, so that's cool. And then, of course, it has the little tokens that you can use if you don't have actual miniatures and whatnot. Sometimes these are actually better because you can get well, not only is it cheaper, but you can get exactly what you need if you can't find a spider mini, if you can't find whatever the hell that is, a shadow. So, you know, you can use these, put them on your board and whatnot. So again, this is really cool. Again, good quality stuff. Paizo does well with their releases like this. Paizo, again, I've said this before, but you really need to, and I'll continue to say it because, again, it irks the crap out of me. You really need to revamp your website, or the store part of your website, because it is trash. It's so hard to find things, put it in. It needs a revamp. Please put somebody on that to do it. And as always, when you get something from Paizo, they also give you a little card to one of their adventure games that are out. This is for the Skulls and Shackles little cardboard game. So, you know, that's pretty cool. Again, if nothing else, just for the art, because, I mean, I don't plan on going out and buying some of these other things, but, you know, it's cool to have that and just check it out or whatever. But anywho, there you have it, everyone. has... Yeah, I'm on. There you have this latest edition of What's in the Box. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed me showing off some of this stuff that you might not have seen before. Because again, I enjoy it. Again, yeah, I do enjoy showing off some of this stuff as well. But again, thank you for joining me on this. Appreciate it. Please continue to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, all that good stuff. Until next time, take it easy.